Here manager Lee Allinson after a great 2-1 victory over Wealdstone in the FA Trophy. Lee, how would you sum up today's match?
Probably the worst conditions I've probably ever been involved in, really, with the wind, the rain, the coldness, everything about the game was just a battle, really, all over the park. But absolutely delighted, over the moon with the players. I thought each and every one of them were magnificent today, and I felt we thoroughly deserved our win.
How would you evaluate today's match?
Yeah, it was really hard. As I said, I felt it was really important we went with a win first half. Obviously, at 2:45 we've lost David Longking, and to be fair with David, I've tried to force him to play. He's been in hospital a week, he ain't very well at the moment. But he felt like he could play. He's done the warm-up, didn't feel great. So obviously plans had gone a little bit out the window. Brought Ben Wealdstone in, Jack Bradshaw went in the centre half. And it was just really about getting in their face if we could, make it into a battle, because if you go against a football side like Wealdstone, it's going to be very difficult. I felt that Bobby had put his team out to be very physical as well. And it was just a battle all over the park. I felt we deserved our lead. They got back into it slightly in the first half and got their penalty, whether it's a penalty or not, I don't know. People from the stand were telling me it was, I felt it wasn't, but only time will tell. I'll have a look at it myself and decide from there. And then the second half, I thought we were outstanding. Yeah, they had a couple of half chances, but I mean, their goalkeeper's probably pulled off the best save I've ever seen in the second half, and that weren't the only one he's pulled off. He's pulled 2 or 3 others, and you know, I felt we thoroughly deserved the win today.
As you said, we did deserve our lead. Were you shocked at how well we started?
No, not at all. We got that about us. You know, we're an aggressive side. We're hard working, and as I say to them all the time, if we work harder than the opposition, you know, you've got a great chance of winning. It doesn't matter what level that is. You've always got a chance. And as I say, we've worked extremely hard today. We know we're carrying a few injuries going into Tuesday night now, which is going to hurt us. But we've got to go again Tuesday and try and get 3 points at Lowestoft.
We did have some ex-players. We had Joe White and Matt Ball. Do you think this affected the match in any way?
No, not at all. Listen, I thought Kieran Forbes, to be fair, he was a player for Wealdstone, and I thought Forbes was outstanding today, showing his quality. And Joe's played there, and Matt, to be fair, Matt's come in for a lot of criticism from the fans, whether it's right or wrong. You know, he scored the winner today, he maybe shouldn't have celebrated towards him, but that's on emotion. I'm sure he doesn't mean that. But yeah, I thought Matty was brilliant today as well, and you know, he scored the winner, and it was a great finish.
They talked about how difficult the conditions were. How do you think the pitch held up?
Pitch was brilliant, considering, you know, it hasn't been fantastic all season. The chairman's done some wonders with it, getting some new people in to treat the pitch. It's probably the best it's been all season, and it's held up great considering the rain we've had from 2 o'clock. And the pitch played really well. It was just the wind that probably ruined the game. It wasn't the prettiest of games, it was just an all-out battle today.
You said earlier on in the week that this is probably top 3 of the most important games this club's had. What does it mean to the club winning a game
It's
like
massive. You know, it's massive money for the chairman who's backed us all season. It's massive for the club. It's massive for the players to go into the second round proper. Now, you know, I still don't think you beat the first round proper of the FA Cup, and the playoff final was massive. But this has got to be up there now with the second round. And I'd love the boys to get a nice away tie up north somewhere, Salford, something like that would be magnificent if we can get something like that. And we'll see on Monday.
Is there anything from either side that maybe shocked you or you weren't expecting?
No, not really. You know, I know what a good side Wealdstone are. You know, and I think the weather has played a big part today. Although I felt we kicked against the wind better than they did in the first half. But I've got a group of players in there that don't know when they're beat, and that's a dangerous side. You know, when you don't know when you're beat and you keep going, you keep plugging away, they're working ever so hard. We've got good players coming off the bench. Problem we've got now, we've got some injuries across the board. I've got to lose Solomon for the next couple of weeks now, he goes away. So the squad's going to be really tested, and we'll have to see how we go from there.
Peter Clark had a really bright start to the match and he came off relatively early. Can you just talk us through that?
Yeah, he's pulled hamstring, so that's going to be a couple of weeks now. He's been struggling with it last few games, and I actually felt like he just said there, I thought he was excellent to start with today. Caused him lots of problems, some great third round runs. And then it took Lucas for me to half time to get right into it. But listen, as I've mentioned about Lucas all the time, he's played at this level for long enough. He knows he's got his opportunity now, and he needs to take it.
What can you tell us about your next game?
Tough, you know, away from home, Lowestoft, longest journey of the season, and I've got to get these group of players up and ready because we're in a great position in the league, and we can't take our eye off that because we're in a good position in the league, and the likelihood of us winning the FA Trophy is probably very small. So we need to concentrate on Tuesday. It's a massive game for the football club, and we have to respond better than we did when we played Gloucester the other week.
Brilliant, thank you.
No problem.